Good afternoon, everybody. Thank you for joining us. Chief Judge Dak Tudor, members of the Judiciary, Clerk of the Court Brenda Foreman, Mayor Dale Holness, and everybody else who's a dignitary, officer, director of any voluntary bar association. Thank you for coming to the first and hopefully only virtual installation of the Broward County Bar. We appreciate your patience today. You're keeping your screens muted as far as sound and picture so that we can honor all the volunteers of the Young Lawyers section in Broward County Bar and the officers that are going to be installed today. These times are trying. There's social unrest, there's a pandemic health situation, but we in the Broward County Bar are moving forward and taking a leadership position. So we thank you very much for taking some time today to join us for the swearing in of the 2020-2021 officers and directors of the Broward County Bar Association and our Young Lawyer section. Madam Clerk of the Court, Brenda Foreman, will you lead us in the Pledge of Allegiance?
Yes, I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Thank you, Madam Clerk.
I'd like to call on our dedicated, hardworking, and great leader of the Young Lawyers section, Lindsay Massillon, for her remarks.
Thank you all. Welcome to our installation. Certainly not how I anticipated leaving my post as president, but it has been an absolute honor to serve the Young Lawyers section. This past year, we accomplished so much. There's clearly so much more that I wish that we could have done, but I know that Omar is going to take over the reins. We also have 5 fresh new faces to our board, which I'm really excited about. I know that they're going to bring a new perspective and just fresh blood, which we always need. So I'm very excited to see what their next year has in store. I just want to briefly touch on some of the things that we did this past year. We raised a whopping $35,000 for Nicholas Children's Hospital, thanks to my board, who is always very supportive of me. Without them, I could not have, thank you. Without them, I could not have done everything that I did. That was for Nicholas Children's Hospital. We also put on a phenomenal Holiday in February event where I believe we had about 50 foster children at the Museum of Discovery and Science. We had a phenomenal Black History Month luncheon thanks to our sister bar associations, TJ Reddick, Gwen Cherry, and we also have being installed today on our board, the immediate past president of Gwen Cherry, Brendalyn Edwards. Very excited to have her join our board. Again, so much that we did, so much more that I wanted to do, but I'm very excited to see what Omar has for us. I thank you all for your attention and hope you are all well.
Thank you, Lindsay. You did a fabulous job. Let's give her a round of applause.
Thank you.
So I guess it's my turn to give an outgoing president's message. A year ago, we were at the Ritz-Carlton looking at the beautiful ocean, jumping up and down, giving high fives and hugs, congratulatory remarks, big agenda, and we were rolling. The first 8 months, as they say, life was good, or life is good. Things changed, but the Broward County Bar changed with it. We reinvented ourselves. So during the first, we'll call it season of the year, we had 100% of the judges join us in becoming members of the Broward Bar. We achieved a new milestone with the help of all the past presidents and officers as we continue to grow, a membership of over 3,600. We, with the help of the board of directors and executive committee, were able to secure the property next to the bar so that the Broward County Bar has a home for the future, for expansion, growth, etc. And then we moved into our virtual world, our Zoom world, the new reality of today. And that wasn't anticipated. But the Broward County Bar Board reinvented ourselves, developed multifaceted programming, enhanced the relationships we had around the state of Florida, called on our sponsors, and successfully put many webinars on so that we were financially sound and we were able to provide services to all our members. So let me conclude by saying thank you to the executive committee. Winnie, you've been a great past president, mentor to me. Thank you for your service. Winnie Kessler. Robert Vaughan's coming on deck in about 5 minutes, as long as he can take the oath. My brother from another mother. Jamie, Allison, and now Michael, you guys will be great leaders in the future. So the bar is in good hands, as well as the dynamic and diverse board we have as we celebrate diversity in our community and on our organization. So I thank our sponsors. I thank the judiciary for always being there to support us. And I also want to thank my partner, Howard Friedman, and Lisa Bennett, my wife, Anita, because without support, you kind of can't do this. Michael Fischler, zooming out. Mayor Dale Holness, thank you for joining us again. You've been a big supporter of the bar and our events. We'd like to hear your remarks.
Chief Judge Tudor, clerk of the court, foreman, members of the bar, all the judges, thank you for this opportunity to join you this afternoon in congratulating my very close friend, Honorable Attorney Robert Vaughan, on becoming the president of the Broad Bar Association. I believe that, Robert, you're one of the best lawyers in the world, and you know, when we're together, I say something else, but I don't want to offend any other members of the bar this afternoon. What makes you great is that not only are you a skilled and dedicated professional, it is also the additional fact that you understand the need for community engagement in the broader community and community building. With all the things that are happening in our community, in our nation, in Broward County, you are the right person for the job at the right time. And I'm sure that your leadership skills will come to bear on helping the bar further engage as broadly as it possibly can within the Broward County community. With what's happening, I've worked to put together a ordinance, I'm working towards that right now, that will bring about a criminal justice and law enforcement civilian board. And certainly I'm going to need members of the bar and the judicial system to be a part of this. Also, putting together a racial equity task force where we can bring everyone from all sectors of the county to look at the issue of race and the inequities that exist here in Broward County and throughout the nation, and bring solutions to how we can build a better Broward for all of us, where we can truly be one community moving forward together with prosperity for all. Again, my dear friend, congratulations to you. I'm here to work with you on these and many other endeavors. Thank you so much for having me. And again, congratulations. Look forward to working very closely with you over the years.
Thank you, Mayor Holness. You are always a supporter and a leader in our community, and we thank you for all you do for our citizens. Now we're moving forward with the installation of our incoming YLS president, Omar Giraldo. Judge Tudor, if you would do us the honor.
Yeah, I'll be happy to do that. And I want to thank also the mayor for the untold numbers of hours him and Bertha and members of the commission have put in on all the things that are going on in the county, and to the sheriff as well, who I think has joined us here today, Ms. Foreman. We really appreciate all of y'all's efforts in the climate that we're in right now. We'll get through all of this, and hopefully by this time next year, Giraldo will get back to being able to have as many cocktails as he can at one of these events. And so I know that'll make him happy. All right, Omar, there's a lot of people out here. Omar, if you turn your microphone on and raise your right hand for me. We're going to change the script a little bit to keep this short. I'm getting a bad echo, so make sure everybody else mutes. So if you just repeat after me, Omar. I do solemnly swear or affirm
I do solemnly swear or affirm
that I will support and protect the Constitution of the United States and of the state of Florida,
that I will support and protect the Constitution of the United States and of Florida,
that I am duly qualified to serve as president
that I am duly qualified to serve as president
under the bylaws of the Young Lawyers section of the Broward County Bar,
under the bylaws of the Young Lawyer section of the Broward County Bar Association,
and that I will well and faithfully perform
and that I will well and faithfully perform
the duties of my office to the best of my abilities, so help me God.
the duties of my office to the best of my ability, so help me God.
Thank you very much, Omar. You are now the Young Lawyers incoming president. Thank you and congratulations. All right, so we are going to wait till the end. So I'm going to give you your oath, and then when we conclude, everybody will say, I do or I will. So the oath is as follows. Do you solemnly swear or affirm that you will support, protect, and defend the Constitution of the United States of America and the state of Florida, and that you are duly qualified to serve as a board member or officer of the board of directors under the bylaws of the Young Lawyers section of the Broward County Bar, and that you will well and faithfully perform the duties of your office to the best of your abilities, so help you God.
I will.
Congratulations, board members.
will.
We appreciate you coming in to serve and help out the bar. Congratulations to all of you. And for all of you who served last year, we also want to thank you for your service.
So this, just like Lindsay said, and just like I think everyone said, this isn't exactly the way we all anticipated it, but I couldn't be prouder of what we accomplished in the past year. And I can only hope for the year going forward that I build off what all the great presidents that I've served under have done. Jeff Wank, Todd Baker, Brent Reitman, Sarah Sandler, Lindsay Massillon. Of all the years I've been on the board, we have been proud to partner with the BCBA, the big board, the executive board, all the lawyers in the community, and the great bench that we have that is so supportive of what we do to become the best large affiliate in the state of Florida. We've won that 3 years that I've been here. And I can only hope to get what I've learned and to keep the tradition going of all the hard work that we've done. So I'm very excited. While it's going to be a strange year, I couldn't be happier to be doing it with the board that we have, with our team, Braulio, Lauren, and the entire BCBA, as well as the bench. So thank you very much. And I'm looking forward to a great year with everybody.
Judge
All right.
Tudor, now we're going to be installing BCBA President Robert C.L. Vaughan.
All right, Robert, if you'd be so kind as to raise your right hand and state after me. I, Robert Vaughan,
I, Robert Vaughan,
do solemnly swear or affirm
do solemnly swear or affirm
that I will support, protect, and defend
that I will support, protect, and defend
the Constitution of the United States and of the state of Florida,
the Constitution of the United States and of the state of Florida,
that I'm duly qualified to serve as president
that I am duly qualified to serve as president
under the bylaws of the Broward County Bar Association,
under the bylaws of the Broward County Bar Association,
and that I will well and faithfully perform
and that I will well and faithfully perform
the duties of my office,
the duties of my office.
so help me God.
So help me God.
And I will further
And I will further
keep my closing remarks
keep my closing remarks
to under 2 minutes.
to under 8 minutes.
Oh, all right, there you go. I knew I couldn't get him to swear to that. Congratulations, Robert. We know you do a great job. I look forward to working with you, as do all of the lawyers and the members of the bar.
Thank you, Your Honor, as do we.
All right, I guess we're going to install the new board, right? Next.
Yes, Chief.
All right, so members of the new board, then we're going to do this as we did before. I'm going to read the entirety of your oath, And then when I finish, you turn your microphones and say, I do or I will. So, do you solemnly swear or affirm that you will support, protect, and defend the Constitution of the United States and of the state of Florida, that you are duly qualified to serve as a member or officer of the Board of Directors under the bylaws of the Broward County Bar Association, and that you will well and faithfully perform the duties of your office to the best of your abilities, so help you God?
I will.
Thank you.
I will.
And before I conclude, I also wanted to thank Lindsay and Michael and everybody who served last term. It's been kind of a trying year, as everybody's pointed out, but we got through it, and hopefully we'll be looking back and just marveling at how we got through what we got through this year. So on behalf of the judiciary, I certainly want to take a point of privilege here to thank all the lawyers, in addition to our Bar Association, for helping us get through this on Zoom and the many other platforms we've been using to move these dockets and keep the cases moving. I don't think any of us on March the 10th or 12th would have ever thought we would have found ourselves in the plight that we found ourselves. But somehow we were able to conduct over 6,000 Zoom hearings with about 119,000 participants. And somehow we moved the cases. We still got a lot more work to do when we open, but we're gonna open very safely. I have to tell all of you all, there's just too many things going on that we all kind of have to be worried about, and the risk is still out there. So on behalf of all of our 90 judges and 11 magistrates and our court administration, I want to thank everybody for your enormous efforts in keeping the courts moving the last few months.
Mr. Vaughan, I've given you the gavel virtually. You have the podium.
Thank you. Mr. Executive Director, I think we have a couple very important recognitions that need to be made. Is this the time for them?
I think so, Mr. President.
President Giraldo, do you have one you'd like to make before I do mine? All right, let me lead off.
Thanks.
Michael, before I begin, I understand that there was a package delivered to your office. And you said it just as I've said it, just as you've said it in the past. I couldn't have asked for a better predecessor, because over the years, you have become family, a brother from another mother. And if we were in the same room, I'd introduce you to your mom, Sadie Vaughan, who is on this Zoom with us. Thank you for your guidance. Thank you for your leadership. Thank you for being a true partner. And so that you all know, on behalf of the Broward County Bar Association, we've presented Michael with a recognition that reads, Michael A. Fischler, BCBA President, July 2019 to June 2020. In recognition and appreciation for your outstanding commitment, loyalty, and service to the bar and legal community, your dedicated leadership has inspired us all. Broward County Bar Association, June 26, 2020. It's been an honor and a privilege, Michael. Thank you.
Thank you, Robert.
Mr. Chief Judge, Broward County Mayor Dale Holness, to all of our state court judges who consistently and reliably dedicate the time to spend with us, Judge Alan Forrest from the 4th District, the Honorable David Mayer, Consul General of Jamaica, Madam Clerk of Courts, Brenda Foreman, Broward County Sheriff Gregory Toney, to the President of the Florida Bar, Dory Foster Morales, who I believe has joined us, members of the Board of Governors who have joined us, my beloved family, my mom who is attending one of these for the first time live from Jamaica, my wife, my daughter, who I know is yelling in the living room right now, to my partners, my co-workers, my ever supportive friends, special guests all in attendance, I bid you all welcome. And of course, all the members of the Broward County Bar Association, I bid you welcome. I wish to take the next few minutes with you to begin a conversation, a dialogue that I hope we will continue for months to come. The last several months have presented us with unbelievable challenges, the likes of which most of us have never experienced in our own lifetimes. For those of us who have had similar experiences, those experiences have been usually limited to singular type of social, racial, or economic upheaval. Some of us have experienced the civil rights movements. Some of us experienced global healthcare scares, or recessions, or a depression, but never all together in one perfect storm of economic and social and racial upheaval and unrest. In the past several months, we have experienced a global pandemic that continues to place a significant stress on our public and private healthcare system and has laid bare certain glaring deficiencies in our national healthcare services and delivery infrastructure. At the same time, we've experienced a domestic economic shutdown that has crippled our local economy, leaving individuals and businesses reeling from its impacts and likely destined to suffer long-lasting, untold effects in a slow, painful, and unpredictable recovery. This economic upheaval and uncertainty has laid bare, again, certain deficiencies in our economy, an economy that's been built upon the backs of a permanent underclass, revealing the true economic vulnerabilities of certain minority communities, the vulnerabilities of those in the lowest socioeconomic class who live day to day on the brink of poverty without having a living wage or the ability to plan for a rainy day, or without the ability to properly provide for the education of their own children or to own their own home. Things that we all know are tickets to the middle class. In the past several months, we have once again, as a society, been forced to confront the deep and festering wounds of a national history that's been steeped in racial prejudice, institutional and systemic biases. We join in the long unanswered calls from members of our society who have been crying out for inclusion, for equity, for social justice, for fairness, for accountability for acts against Black and brown peoples that have offended our every sense of decency and shocked us to our very core. We have all borne witness to the manifestations of generations of prejudice and institutional and unconscious bias in the recent deaths of several Black citizens at the hands of law enforcement. And we have seen the manifestations of those long unanswered cries for equality and for justice in the recent protests and civil demonstrations. Protests, frankly, that have been joined by citizens of good conscience and common humanity across the globe. These problems with which we are now confronted, the problems of the underserved, the underrepresented, the underemployed, the underincluded, they're not new problems. These are problems that we have been kicking down the road and which we have now seen converged in the same human intersection. Many of us have come to the conclusion that we can no longer continue to kick these proverbial cans down the road in the hopes that somehow, some way, they get resolved. We have all come to the shared conclusion that today we have an opportunity, now like never before, to confront these difficult issues of social justice, of inclusion, of equality, and of justice for all of us. The big question you'll ask is how? As members of this bar association, as lawyers, and as members of the third branch of government, we have an obligation to facilitate the necessary conversations and dialogue that will be required to effect meaningful change. Only through meaningful engagement, devoid of platitudes, devoid of politics, can we attain the social enlightenment we need to discover our shared humanity. We can no longer shy away, look away, or turn away from our individual, our institutional, our shared responsibility to be part of the solution. So this year, through several exciting partnerships with the involvement of leading community voices. The Broward County Bar Association will facilitate and will amplify those discussions. Throughout the course of the year, in partnerships with law enforcement, the sheriff is here, with the courts, the chief is here, with the legislature, Mayor Holness is here, and with various community leaders and activists, we intend to host a series of discussions aimed at thoughtful engagement with an eye towards social enlightenment and meaningful, positive change. If we are to fulfill our role as the third branch of government, if we are to truly earn that descriptor as social architects, we cannot simply stand by as passive observers, waiting for somebody else to fix the problem. As professionals, as lawyers, as human beings, our silence is simply not an option. As president for this coming year, on behalf of every single member of my executive committee, on behalf of every single one of our board of directors, on behalf of our executive director, the fabulous Mr. Braulio Rosa, and our dedicated staff, we, the BCBA, look forward to serving this great organization as we do our part to effect meaningful change. I wish to thank you all from the bottom of my heart for joining us this afternoon and for sharing this special occasion with myself, my family, and our bar. I look forward to continuing this conversation with each of you and with all of you. Once again, folks, thank you. I have a correction because I made mention of RCG, the representative of the land of my birth, and I think I said David Mayer because I have a friend, David Muir. Mr. CG, I'm well aware it is Oliver Mayer, and thank you so much for taking the time out of your schedule to join us. Mr. ED, over to you.
Yeah, we just wanted to thank Lindsay for her hard work. It's been a difficult year. It's been a trying year, but through it all, she was a great leader. We had a killer start when everything was rocking and rolling. And through the end there, where everything just kind of died down, she really picked up the pace and we found ways to get creative. And I couldn't be happier to get through it with her. And we have something as well, because everything is incredibly remote. Lauren sent me a picture of something that she will be receiving shortly. So there it is. There's her proclamation. She can pretend to hold it if she likes. So thank you so much, Lindsay, for a phenomenal year. And hopefully we will all get together and have a party in person as we used to once everything gets back to normal, because we sure do miss those. Thanks again, Lindsay.
Thank you, Omar. Before we turn it over to Braulio, everybody on this call, on this Zoom conference, everybody who's a member of the Broward County Bar and the judiciary knows that the way we had rendered ourselves with a visionary executive director, Braulio Rosa. He's the man. He's taken hold of the state in offering our services to other VBAs that don't have the ability to do what we do. Braulio single-handedly brought us forth out of the quote unquote pandemic problems, and we move forward. When Judge Tudor talked about Zoom and how quickly we moved in Broward County Judiciary, I think back to e-filing, which was a multi-year process. Braulio, you got us up and running, and Judge Tudor, you got the courts up and running within days. Within a month, we were having hearings, and all of the lawyers in Broward County are appreciative of Braulio, all of the information you imparted to us, the partnerships you've established. Thank you, thank you, thank you.
Well, now I'm all choked up.
You're the best, Braulio.
You need to splash a little something in there. Helps. That's what I do.
Yeah, it was water guy. Thank you for the kind words, Michael. Marilyn's giving me a tissue. Oh my gosh. You know, the silly Latinos, they're sentimental.
But what has he done since Robert's been president?
Absolutely everything.
Thank God for Braulio.
It is an honor and privilege to serve this bar association and lawyers across the state. It's an honor to work with the chief judge and serve our 17th circuit. I couldn't have the best job in the world working with you all. It's been a tough year, as you all said, and we were fortunate. We grabbed onto it early on, and the bar, we were able to build that coalition of partnership with the big county bars across the state. You know, that all started years ago, really, when I first came, and I was appointed like 8 years ago, and Jay Kim was actually on the board. He was coming off, and Alan Fishman's on. And he was my first full-time president because I was on with Deb Fitzgerald towards her end, but Sarah's partner, Sarah Sandler. And anyhow, you know, we started partnering. We really became an inclusive and diverse bar. We really brought together all of the various affinity bar associations in Broward, as well as those tri-county ones, to really work closely with us, and we built a strong partnership with all of them, whether it's the Caribbean Bar, Gwen Cherry, TJ Reddick, the Hispanic Bar. And so we've built on that, APABA. And so that really gave me the lesson to reach out to all of those big county bars and build that coalition that we have now that's really educated. We've probably touched a good 7,000 lawyers across the state since mid-March with the webinars and programming that we've done. So I just want to thank the board, the big board, and the young lawyers that work with me. And we do it all together. You know, one person can't do it. It's you all pick. When I call you or text you, you pick up the phone and you say yes. And so that's why we could do it. It's not one person. It is a team effort. I'm privileged to serve you all and work with you. As a chief judge, I mean, chief judge is amazing. I mean, anytime I text him or call him, he's there for me. I can't say enough about Chief Judge Jack Tudor. He is the best, absolutely the best. And you know,
you read that perfectly, Braulio. Thought it might be a little over the top when I sent it to you, but you read it perfectly.
I mean that from the bottom of my heart, Chief. You know, I'm doing a program and I text them or call them and, hey, Chief, can you reach out to your colleagues? Can you get other chief judges? And he literally stops what he's doing and starts reaching out to these people. And I couldn't do it without folks like the chief judge. So Judge Gillespie was a rock star this year. I don't know if he's on. He's going to continue serving as our liaison. We and Michael Fischler was super proud of this one. We were able to get 100% of our judges as members of the Broward Bar. That's in a great part to Judge Gillespie. Lots of love, as we say in Spanish, mucho cariño to Judge Gillespie. Just amazing. The judiciary is always there for us. We're Broward County. We work together. I'm proud. We're working closely now with Mayor Holness in Broward County. That's exciting that we're working with our elected officials to hand in hand to support them and do some good stuff. Sheriff Tony's been out working with us. So things are bright. We will get through this. I'm excited. I'm sad that, you know, a little bit that Michael and Lindsay ended the year where we couldn't do some things in person. I know that, you know, it was a little difficult for them, but we still were able to do some great things despite that. And I look forward to working with my brother, Robert Vaughan, the first Jamaican American president of the Broward County Bar Association in 95 years. Just very proud of you, sir. Looking forward to working with you. Michael, it was a pleasure to serve you. Lindsay, you too. welcome to the new board members. Thank you for the Florida Bar governors that are on. I know that I saw Lorna jumped on. There may be some others out there. Some of our past presidents, I saw Tom Oates and Alan Fishman. I hope some more out there. Some of our young lawyer past presidents, Brent Reitman, my brother. Sarah, who's now on our board, the big board. So I'm not going to go on much longer. Just thank you so much. Appreciate this bar. We are the best bar in the state, and I'm proud of that.
Braulio, before you sign off, can I just once again jump in and thank the mayor and the sheriff. They're under a lot of stress right now with everything that's going on, and just to jump on and be with us for this hour of their time. And just remind everybody, we're not very far away from an election in August, and please, everybody, go out and vote. A lot of lawyers don't go vote, but they know who's on those ballots. They know a lot of the judicial candidates for sure. So please, everybody, exercise your constitutional right and go out and vote. But Mayor and Sheriff Tony, I just want to thank you on behalf of the judiciary and all of the 4,000 members of the Broward Bar for getting us through this, and untold hours, after hour calls, and on duty basically 24 hours a day, 7 days a week. On behalf of everybody, we appreciate everything you all are doing for the county.
So that concludes our installation.
Oh,
The Broward
Michael,
County
if I,
Bar wishes that everybody stay safe, healthy. We thank you for joining us today, supporting our bar, which is really your bar. All officers, directors, sponsors, and anybody involved with the bar, all we can say is thank you.
Michael, I forgot one person, and not that was instrumental, and I just want to say Brenda Foreman, the clerk of court, has been there for us. Anytime we need anything, Brenda's there. I text her, she's on it. So Brenda and Diane Diaz, her chief executive officer that works with her. Thank you so much. You make the Broward Bar better also.
I did of that, Braulio. I left Ms. Foreman out. They do a great job over there. And whenever we email them, I mean, they get us an answer within minutes. They are very responsive to our request, and we appreciate their hard work as well.
I hand it back over
Thank
to you, to
you.
Michael, to close it out.
You want to thank our technology host today?
Yes.
Orlando, he's awesome.
Orlando has allowed us to have up to 500 people on Zoom webinars, which is unheard of 3 months ago. So thank you, Omar, and also teaching us how to do different trial techniques and upload documents, etc. Robert, you look great. Everybody, Omar, we'll get that scotch flowing again soon. Thank you, everybody.